Hello, I'm Jessica Williams. I'm the Curator of History and Collections at the Intrepid Museum, and we are standing here in our collection storage space to take a look at one of our very important and special collections here at the Intrepid Museum, our collection of flight helmets. And we have a few of these on display in our exhibits, but we have more than we can display at any given time, and also they're among our fragile items, so some of them tend to stay here safely in storage and not be put on exhibit. Helmets are an important and distinctive part of a pilot's gear, and what we're going to look at today are some examples from our collection of World War II pilot helmets, which look quite a bit different than helmets that you see on military pilots today. And these helmets here served a number of functions. They were intended to provide some protection from the wind and cold, also some protection from burns if there was a fire, for example, in the cockpit. They also were important for communication. They're important for providing receptacles for headphones, also for minimizing engine noise so that the pilot would be able to hear communications. Now, there are a few things that this style of helmet really didn't do. One thing it didn't do was provide any protection for the pilot's eyes. During World War II, Intrepid pilots would have been wearing separate goggles over their face. And the other thing it really doesn't protect against is impact. These are soft helmets. They're made out of fabric or leather, so they're not doing much if a pilot, his head came into contact with anything. So our World War II helmet collection includes helmets in a number of different styles. We can see a few examples of them here. One thing you can see is that they're made out of different materials. So there's a lighter weight canvas helmet, that was a summer flight helmet, and then heavier ones made out of leather. You can see here the shearling on the inside of that. That's a winter flight helmet. They also have different kinds of chin straps and things to keep the helmet on. And also some helmets don't have receptacles for headphones like this one over here, whereas other ones have different styles of headphone receptacles on the sides. Let's take a closer look at one of the World War II helmets in the collection. This helmet belonged to a pilot named Bernard St. John. He went by Ben, and he flew torpedo bombers off Intrepid in 1944. He actually was awarded the Navy Cross for his role in firing a torpedo into a Japanese cruiser, which was instrumental in sinking that ship. So this is a pretty typical helmet for what pilots would have worn on board Intrepid during that time. So as you can see, this is one of the canvas helmets, the summer flight helmet, and because Intrepid was flying in warm climates, this is more typically what Intrepid pilots would be using. But just a couple of things to point out on this. So you can see the helmet here, you can see the chin strap to keep it on, and what we see here on the side are these receptacles for headphones. This helmet actually still has the headphones attached right here. Here is the back side of the headphones going into both ears. You can plug in here. And so trying to insulate pilots from noise, cockpit noise, was a very important function of these helmets, and the Navy tried a number of different designs during World War II, and ultimately what they settled on was this, this design here. They also call this a donut, and that would provide a lot of cover for the pilot's ear to help them be able to hear the transmissions they were getting. Another feature of this helmet was that during this period there were more occasions where pilots needed oxygen based on how high they were flying. So there are some attachments here for an oxygen mask on this helmet. One of the things with military hardware is that we often get a lot of similar donations from different people because pilots were issued the same sort of gear. So we very gently inside this helmet have stitched in a label with the accession number, so that's the number we assigned to this donation, and it's done in such a way that we could remove it if we needed to at any time, but that's how we will always know that this was Ben St. John's helmet. As World War II propeller-driven aircraft gave way to jets, the technology of pilot helmets changed as well. In our next video, we're going to talk about some of the other helmets in our collection that date from the jet age. For more behind-the-scenes videos, visit intrepidmuseum.org.